Hi, my creative peeps. This is Craftin' Just Because with Cowan, and today I'm going to bring you a project using the Someone Special stamp set. And one cool thing to know is coming here very soon for celebration, they are going to have some coordinating dies to go with it. And they cut out all the little shapes and give you a word bubble, things like that. So I'm really excited to be playing with this set. I was able to obtain those dies early since I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And so if you're interested in signing up, there is a special promotion going on. Just message me and I will tell you all about it. But one of the cool things that you get is this mini trimmer, and then it also comes with a pack of all the of some of the new designer series paper that's cut 6x6, and we're going to be using a piece of that today. So what we need to do, oh, I should show you the project. So we're going to be making this cute little treat box, and I did a little raccoon on the front, and it says for a very special someone. And when you open it up, there's candy inside. Now you could put earrings, money, anything like that on the inside, but it's really fun to make. These are quick and easy. You can make them out of 6x6 paper. So out of a 12x12 piece of paper, you can get 4 out of them. And I'm going to show you how to do that. First, you're going to need to bring in your paper trimmer. So we've got our paper trimmer here, and then we're going to bring in that piece of designer series paper that is 6x6, and we need to cut it down to 5 3/8 by 5 3/8. So I'm going to go ahead and get that at 5 3/8, cut that little strip off, turn it, cut that side at 5 3/8. Okay. Now what you want to do is you want to score your paper. And we're going to score on one side at 1 1/2 and the other at 3 7/8. So on this side, we're going to score at 1 1/2 and then 3 7/8. Okay. Then we're going to rotate it 90 degrees and we're going to score it at 1 1/2. Let's do one more time. At 2, at 3 1/2, and at 4. Okay, so this is what you're left with. Now, if you notice, these two rectangles are the same size. So the one that has the smaller end on it, we want to notch that at 3 1/8. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in my paper trimmer, and I'm going to have my score blade all the way at the top, and I'm just going to do a little notch at the top. And you're going to see that I kind of notched that right there. Okay. Now you're going to remove your paper trimmer. And you're going to come in with your bone folder and your ruler, and from that notch to the intersecting score line here, you're going to make a score line, and then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So you're going to go from that intersecting score line to the notch there at the top, and score that down just like that. So you're making a little flap. Okay. Now what you want to do is on these 4 squares, so because we're going to cut some of this out. Actually, let's cut that out first because I think it'll be easier to show you guys. So what we're going to do is you're going to cut these 2 squares off just like this. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay. Now you're going to cut on this score line here. And you're going to cut on this score line here. Okay. So now what you have left are, you have 2 squares and then a little rectangles in the center. And what you're going to do is you're going to go corner to corner and cut, score this in half as a triangle. Okay. And then you're going to go the opposite way on the other corner. Just like that. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. Sorry if that was off camera there. Trying to do it so that you could see me. And the score lines I know are really hard to see, but they won't be here in a minute. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to burnish all the score lines. So we're going to come in, burnish, burnish, burnish. Okay, then we're going to burnish this one and this one. And now the ones that we just did the corners for, you're going to fold them in. So just like this, corner to corner, and then you're going to go burnish it down. So you're going to fold, let's see, fold it in, just like that. And score down. Now you're going to do the same thing on this side. Burnish it in. And burnish that one in as well. Okay, so this is what you're left with. Okay, so now what you're going to want to do is, before we add the magnet, I'm going to add my sentiment here at the very top of my flap. And I'm going to put, for a very special someone, and I'm going to use sorry, I'm not talking very well. Bermuda Bay Stampin' Ink. And I'm going to stamp that just right here at the top of my flap. Okay. Now I'm going to add a magnet, and I want to add the magnet now before we do the rest of our stamping so that it has a chance to dry. And I have linked these in my video. We do not sell these, but they're very thin magnets and they're perfect for paper crafting, and they're strong. I got mine on Amazon. Okay, so what you're going to do is fold that back up just like we had it. And I'm going to add a dab of glue right there on the corner of my inside of my envelope here. And I'm going to add one of the magnets. Okay, and then I'm going to let that sit and dry. While we're letting that sit and dry, I went ahead and I punched out, I have a scrap of Whisper White here, and then I punched out a 1 1/8 scallop Whisper White circle and a 1 3/8 Bermuda Bay circle. And then I have my piece of candy and then my pom-pom from the Bonanza birthday suite. And what we're going to do is we are going to stamp the heart and then the raccoon, because we want those to sit and dry in just a moment here as well. So I'm going to get out my raccoon and I'm going to put him on my Stampin' Block, and I'm going to stamp him in the Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And I'm going to just stamp his face onto the little scallop circle. And I'm kind of putting this paper down just as a buffer in case I get ink somewhere else. I'm going to just Stamp him right down in the center, just like that. Okay, and I'm gonna push that aside for a moment. And then I'm also going to stamp my little heart, and you could, it's meant to be a balloon, but I'm gonna use it just as a little heart that he's holding. So I'm first going to stamp it, the outline image, using the Tuxedo Black ink. And I'm just gonna stamp that right on down on my scrap. And then I'm gonna come in with my Mango Melody ink, and I'm gonna color that in with the full colored heart balloon. I'm gonna stamp that and stamp that right in the center, just like that. And then we are going to cut out that little heart, which you could actually use, I believe there's a die for that one, but I'm just going to cut it out since I don't have my die cut available right close. And it's pretty quick and easy since I already did all the other things. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that out right on the line there. Normally I'd use my die cut, but since I'm here on video, just wanted to make it nice and quick, I'm gonna go ahead and do it like that. And then I'm also going to color in my raccoon with my dark smoky slate Stampin' Blend marker. So I'm just gonna come in. Color him all up. Okay, excuse my reach there. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of our shimmery crystal effects, and I'm going to do a dot in his eyes and on his nose so it has a glossy effect like this does. And then I'm also going to do it on the heart that he's holding, just to add some dimension. And then we're going to set this aside and let it dry for just a moment. So I'm going to go ahead and put a couple drops right there on his eyes and then on his nose. And then I'm going to fill in my little heart here. Oops. Kind of got carried away there, so let me see if I can get that wiped off. Get that on my scrap there. And then I'm going to wipe that up so it doesn't get hard on my mat. Okay. So now that we've done that, I'm going to check to see if my magnet's dry here, and it is. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the other magnet right on top, just like that. And I'm going to add another little droplet of glue. I'm going to fold this up and add it where I want it to go, and I'm going to hold it there for just a few minutes so it has a few minutes to dry. I told you this was a super simple project, and if you do these in assembly line, you know, like do all the scoring, do all the burnishing, it'd make it easier, do all the stamping. Once that dries for a few minutes, I'm going to set that down, and then I'm going to, right on the edge there, the corner, I'm going to add another little droplet of glue. And then I'm going to add my little pom-pom. Okay, I'm going to set that aside, and really quick, I'm going to pick these up and I'm going to touch them with my heat emboss gun so I can get these a little bit dry so that I can put this together for you guys. And then let me get the balloon. While that heart's drying a little bit, I'm going to add a Stampin' Dimensional to the back of my raccoon, just like that. Then I'm going to layer that on top of that 1 3/8 Bermuda Bay scallop circle, just like that. And then I'm going to flip this over. Uh-oh. Yeah, it wasn't done all the way. And we'll add that to the front. Just like that. And then I'm going to add a little bit of glue down here so that I could pick up my heart in case it's not all the way dry, and add it right on that glue. Whoops. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry, but then let me show you how to put that candy into your finished one. So you're gonna just open it up, and these candies slip in. It won't fit two, unfortunately, because it's too wide, but there's your one candy, and there's your project for today. So I appreciate you guys joining me today. Follow my blog for more special someone projects, and I look forward to stamping with you again next week. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.